Hello again and welcome to Glen session number 13. Unlucky for some, unlucky for those who don't like C major. Anyway, I'm Ronnie Gibson, a scholar performer of Scots fiddle music based in Aberdeen, Scotland. Today we're workshopping two sets, the 91st and 95th pairs of tunes, which come from Glen's second book, published 125 years ago. You can download the sheet music you need to take part at Glen Collection 125.wordpress.com. Let's see who we've got with us. Donald, Francois, hello, it's lovely to have you both. Maybe C major put everyone else off. Anyway, a word about the session on Monday. My internet connection went halfway through, and it worked out pretty perfectly. The last note of the fast playthrough got in, and then the internet connection went. And I had thought we could try and fit in the set we didn't get to tonight, but I thought it would make it rather rushed, either that or rather long. So I recorded a workshop on set 95 on Tuesday, and the link is up on the website for anyone that's interested. Hi, Iona. It's good to have you. Thanks for taking part. It's might be particularly useful to, sorry, I'm just going to put the contrast down on the screen because it reflects in my specs. Okay, it'll just reflect in my specs. It'd be particularly useful to fiddlers keen to develop their bow control, because it suggests different parts of the bow for different notes. Anyway, let's turn to tonight's tunes and set 98. We've got the Strathspey, Bridge of Ballater, and the Honourable Mrs. Campbell. The Strathspey, both tunes are C major. The Strathspey is by Neil Gow, and the reel by Robert McIntosh. So it's all guns blazing. C major is an interesting place to be in Strathspeys and reels. See what you think. Anyway, let's start set 98 with the Bridge of Ballater. We'll play it as equal quavers and without ornamentation. Now, a word on the bowing just before we start. When I put the bowing in, I used a lot of straight slurs, but I've since changed my mind, and the only straight slur that I'm playing is in the third line, second bar. The straight slur at the end of the bar there is the only one that I'm playing. The rest of them I'm playing just separate bows. So it's up to you, whatever you fancy. Steady tempo, equal quavers, no ornaments. Yum, pa, dee, dee, 3 and 4. And again. Let's stop there. We'll focus on the first measure to begin with. Now, a couple of things about the pitch. We've got another big jump in interval between bars 2 and 3. We end bar 2 on the high E, and we start bar 3 on the low C. Now, for a long time, I was just using the fourth finger, but I realized that it was detracting from the full effect. So I do play that E at the end of bar 2 as an open, but it's off the string And when you come off the string, you've got all that latitude to get over onto the bottom. So let's go from bar 2 into bar 3. Nice energetic up at the end. Here we go. Bar 2, 3, and 4. And again, and. Last time, and. And you can land firmly. You want to try and land before you're playing the note, so you've got that firm contact with the string. We're talking microseconds, but it's good to practice it. Good. Now we've got quite a lot of barred second fingers in this strathspey, and indeed in the next strathspey, which is also by Gow. It's when you have a second finger on one string followed by a second finger on another. It comes at the start of bar 2 and the start of bar 4. And it's a barred second finger over 3 notes because it's a 2 on the E, a 2 on the A, and a 2 on the E again. So you're constantly seesawing between the strings. Let's just try it once more as equal quavers without ornaments. From the top, 3 and 4. And again. There we go. So as long as you have your finger prepared to be rocking between the two, rather than placing it, lifting it up and placing it, you should get on just fine. Right. Now let's add in the rhythm. Still no ornamentation. Nice and slow. Drum, pa-dee, dee, dum. And fiddles. You can play these straight slurs if you want, but I'm playing separate bows and that's my preference. 3 and 4. You'll see the big interval between bars 2 and 3 is much more energetic when it's the printed rhythm because you're having to ta-dum. But it's the same principle. So you just go back to equal quaver, and then at the dot, you just have to move the arm a bit quicker. Now, it's a very pointed style of rhythm. Tum, ta-dee, dum. It's not the laid-back West Coast swing that some of the strathspeys have had. It's a bit more severe. Let's just try again from the top with long dotted quavers and very short semi-quavers. 3, 2, 3, and 4. Now, the exception is the snap pair of notes at the end of bar 1, and it's the same at the end of bar 3. The semiquavers are not always the same length, and to get the full effect at the end of bar 1, that penultimate note needs to be just that bit broader. Tum, ta-tee, tee-tum, ta-tee-tum, because it needs that weight. And if you're too short, you can't get the weight on the note. So it's just that bit broader. I'll demonstrate, then we'll try it together. It's subtle, but it's essential. You just need a bit more time to pick that rhythm out. Let's just try to the beginning. 2, 3, and 4. That's it. And again. So if you circle that semiquaver A, the penultimate note in the first bar, just to give it a bit more space. Last time. 3 and 4. Good. Okay. Now, at one point, if you're doing as I am, separate bows, you do travel up the bow and then you get to recover at the end of the first bar. So it's a traveling bar where you're getting towards the upper half and then you recover. Right, let's just try it once more, then we'll add in the ornamentation. From the top with the rhythm, 3 and 4. There we go. Very good. Very good indeed. Now, the ornamentation comes in the second bar, and we've just got that third finger flick for the G-A-G ornamentation on the third note of the bar there, and then a sort of overhanging E in the middle of the bar. Don't be tempted to put a fourth finger on it. Just play it as an open. Let's just try it. Let's slow it down. The second bar with ornamentation, 3 and 4. And again. Again. Last time, the E ornament over the third beat is where the emphasis comes. Don't try and delay the emphasis for the full printed note. Put it on the ornament. Yum pa dee ta ta da tum. Second bar again with ornamentation. 3, 4. There we go. Right. Let's move to the second measure. And line 2, we'll play it equal quavers without ornamentation. You can ignore the straight slurs. I don't like them anymore. The only one that you need is in line 3 at the end of bar 2. So you can put a tick next to that and score the rest of them out. Here we go. Line 2, equal quavers. 3 and 4. There we go. You see in lines 3, between bars 2 and 3, it's exactly the same as above. It should be a legato slur. So you can mark that in if you've got a pencil handy. I think I've got one. Yes, here it is. So line 3 at the end of bar 2, make that straight slur a nice legato slur. And then if you like, you can ignore all the other straight slurs. Right, let's just try that again. That was a bit quick, so let's just slow it down. Ya da dum, ba dee da, 3 and 4. Good. Okay, let's add in the rhythm. Same sort of slow tempo though. Ready? 2, 3, and 4. Good. Now, when you've got repeated notes, as in line 2, bar 2, we've got on beat 3 a crotchet D, and it's followed by a quaver D, and it needs to be strong, weak. It's the same in the bar in the line above and the line below, and it's the same at the end of each line where it's the repeated C, C, C. Don't emphasize the fourth beat in bars 2 and 4 throughout each line. Let's just try that there in line 2, bar 2. Ya-dum, dee-da-dum, 3, 4. And again. Last time, and. That's the idea. Good. Okay, let's try the whole thing once more from line 2 without ornamentation, and then we'll add the ornamentation. Line 2 with rhythm 3 and 4. Even there at the end, tom, strong. Good. Okay. So we've got a few bars with ornamentation. If we look at line 2, bar 2, we've got a barrage of ornamentation. And this, I take no pleasure in telling you, is all Gao. It's not me. Yadam, dliam, dadia, drum. That makes it sound easy. So, we'll look at the turn on beat 2. The ornament on beat 3, the E, is as above, so that won't be too bad. And then we've got a little flick at the start of beat 4. This is line 2, bar 2. You need to play that E fiddles with the fourth finger. Don't try and do a string crossing in the middle of an ornament. So that's the only place you really need to do a fourth finger. And otherwise, you should be sort of dissuaded from using the fourth finger if you want the full idiomatic effect. That's what I'd say. The open string is built into the texture of the tune. Right. So line 2, bar 2. Let's break it up. Let's just take a wee look at this turn first. Yadam, da 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 da, 3, 4. And again, and. and again, and. Last time, and. Now, sped up, have a listen. Let's give that a go. 3, 4. And again. Last time, and. Now, on beat 3, we then have the E ornament. And remember, open string, emphasis. So let's try from the start of the bar to incorporate the second ornament. Line 2, bar 2, 3, 4. And again, and. Last time, and. And then on the up that follows, just a little flick of the fourth finger. It's probably the least friendly ornament. That wasn't too bad. Not so good. Did that even happen? Something like that. It's, yes. It's at the periphery of my comfort zone. Ready? Line 2, bar 2, 3, 4. I don't think I played it that time. Disobedient fourth fingers. Again, and. I played it that time, but it was clumsy. Here we go. 3, 4. There we go. Now, if we look to line 2, bar 4, we've got a little ornament on the second beat, and then an overhanging D on the third beat. Let's slow it down. There goes the book. Ready? Line 2, bar 4, 3, 4. And again. Last time. That's the idea. On the second beat there, you could be tempted to play 2, 3, 4, the ornament, and the fourth finger instead of the open. But it's nice just to let it ring. You might get a squeal, the occasional squeal from the E string. It probably just means it's time to replace it. Now, if we just look to the third line, we've got a couple of ornaments in bar 2, but they're as above, but without the turn. So that makes life a bit easier. And then in the final bar of the Strathspey, just a third finger flick, and then another E. So if we look just quickly at line 3, bar 4, let's try it together. Line 3, bar 4, 3, 4. And again. Last time. There you go. That's it. I'm just going to put this book up. It feels rather irreverential to be playing without the book in the background. There we go. One of those days, you know, it's turned into one of those weeks. One of those days. Right. That's the Strathspey, the real, the Honourable Mrs. Campbell of Loch Nell by Robert McIntosh. Let's just give it a quick run. The measures aren't repeated, so it's just a double bar at the end of line 2. That takes us into the second measure. Right. Young body, 3 and 4. couple of things. Straight away, I don't need to tell you, but I'll just reconfirm. In line 1, bar 2, and line 2, bar 2, at the end, we've got this slur over 3 notes. The notes are 2 Ds and a B. And the effect, the way that I'm playing it anyway, it is as if the 2 Ds were tied together. So it's like a crotchet syncopation. Yum dee 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 da da dum. Dee da 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 dum. And to give it the best effect, you want to make the quaver D, the high D before the slurred notes, short, and then the first note of the slur emphasized, accented. Yum dee dee da da. Yum dee dee da da. So looking just to bar 2 there of the reel, the 4th note, the high quaver D, needs to be staccato with a wee dot underneath, short, and then the low D at the start of the slur needs to have a wee accent, and it's the same in the line below. Now, the other thing to say generally about this reel is there's a lot of string crossing, so try and gravitate to the middle of the bow. And let's just give that a try with those 2 things in mind. Ready, 2, 3, and 4. So you'll have noticed at the end of line 1, we have the same 3-note pattern. So you want to make the note before the slur short and first note of the slur accented. Good. One small thing. There's that much string crossing. It can just be useful to know which notes you need to sort of throw away a bit more. And in bar 1 there, the 3rd note, the high C, I just find I have to throw it away because then I've got a string crossing onto the D and then the G. So if you throw away that 3rd note, the 2nd note of the slur, you can get onto the next string. Yeah, it's definitely T ta 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 T ta 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 in each line. Right, let's move on though. Line 3, let's just give it a read. I'll point out in lines 3 and 4, the 2nd bar has the same rhythm. Ta 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 ta, the 3 notes one. Right, line 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the dotted rhythm in the last bar there, remember that the semiquaver needs emphasis. Yum pa ti ta dum tum tum, tum pa ta ta tum tum tum. It's tricky when you speed it up, but nonetheless it should always be there. Right. Again, I've missed at the end of line 3. There's another 3-note slur, and it's exactly the same shape. Pa pa. A short note before the slur, and the first note of the slur accented. Right, line 3 again. 3 and 4. Something like that. In line 4, bar 3, you can really pair the quavers there. Let's just go from that place. Line 4, bar 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. bright, lively semi-quaver there. Good, okay. I think we're ready to give 98 a play. We'll start at a steady tempo and then we'll play it again. Quick. Right. Yum, hum, da-dee, yum, da-da-da. Here we go. The Bridge of Ballater by Neil Gow and The Honourable Mrs. Campbell of Loch Nell by Robert McIntosh. Strathspey and Reel set from the Glen Collection at a steady tempo. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. These C major tunes, huh? Right, a bit quicker then. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. Tricky little tunes. I don't know about you, fiddles, but I find my hand feels much less comfortable playing in C major. It's probably just because I don't play in it enough. But a couple of things that help, just having the thumb nice and flexible and the wrist back can help for sure. Francois, very nice. Good, I'm glad you like them, Francois. These C major tunes, they have an interesting character. Right, do feel free to share any thoughts or comments in the chat bar. While you're having a think about what you might say, let's move on to set 101. We leapfrog 100, but we land on more Neil Gow. It's Neil Gow double bill tonight. Hilton Lodge by Neil Gow. This is the Strathspey. And the reel, it's from the Gow collections, but it's not claimed by any of the Gows. The Gow dynasty. The reel is Campbell of Monzie. Right. The Strathspey then. Hilton Lodge. Usual process. Equal quavers. No ornaments. And a disclaimer on the straight slurs. There's only a couple in bar 3, but I've discarded them, having revised my opinion. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again. we have another 3-note slur, this time at the end of bar 3, but Gao is more emphatic. The two Ds are tied, and then we have the slur to the third note of the slur, which is staccato, the quaver E at the end of bar 3. And I thought, this is a strathspey. The syncopated crotchet, which is what it's notated as, in effect, isn't as common in strathspeys. It makes sense in a reel because you haven't got time to fit a ornament in. But I tried it with an ornament, and it was better just as a tie without any ornamentation. But it's just the shape. So again, the note before the tie in bar 3 is short, and then the first note, the slur, is strong. But the last note in the bar has a lot of lift. That's what the staccato dot really suggests, I think. Off the string, firmly on the string. Let's just try bar 3 of Hilton Lodge. 3 and 4. And again, bar 3. See how the last note of bar 3 is off this string. You need to physically lift the bow up. Last time, bar 3, 3, 4. Okay, let's keep it slow, but add in the rhythm. Yalam-dee-yaram, bum bum. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again. The rhythm is peculiar. It is not at all regular. We start bar 1 with a snapped pair. Yal dun, dotted, dum, equal, da dum, bum, bum. Second bar, same sort of pitch contour, but a different rhythm. Equal, yada dum, ba, dotted again, d, dotted, da dum, equal at the end, da dum, dum. Dee da dum da dee dum, dee dum da dee da dum. Let's just try again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have to work especially hard in the last bar to make that rhythm work. The second note, the semiquaver E, is an upbeat to the high C. Yum, da dee, da dum. So you take a breath out of the first note. You hear? It's not. The first note of bar 4 has a breath. Tum, ta-tee, ta-tum. It's like 3 groups. The first note is one group, tum. The second group, ta-tee. The third group, ta-tum. And you need just a little separation between them. Right. Once more, start at the point. Even though we're starting it down, you can still do that at the point. And then just travel to where you need to be, and it'll help. Have a look, and then we'll try it together. anyone who's looked at set 95 will see that I'd used UH upper half, PT point, LH lower half. Did I use that one? WB is a common one. Whole bowls. I could have kept it up, but it become tedious. But just maybe bear it in mind. So starting at the extreme upper half with rhythm, we'll look at the ornamentation next. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do you see how light that last note of bar 3 is? Tum pa pum ta-dee ta-dum. You've got the colours of a grand organ, and it's just a lowly fiddle. Now, we've got a couple of ornaments. Two ornaments in bar 1, and then the ornament in bar 2 is CF bar 1. Right. Let's look at the first ornament first. It's on the second beat. Have a listen, then we'll try together. So those 2 beats. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, 3, 4. Last time, it's one of the easier ones. 3 and 4. Now the ornament we arrive at on beat 3 is another 4th finger ornament fiddles. You need 3, 4. So it's depends how agile your pinky is. Mine isn't as agile as it should be, clearly. But I'll play the whole bar and then we'll try it together. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again, 3, 4. Last time, 3, 4. That's the idea. Right. Let's move on then to line 2. As before, there's not too many ornaments to deal with. They're straightforward at the end of each line. We'll make it equal quavers, no ornamentation. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. We've got another couple of these 3-note slurs, and they're exactly as above, where the last note of the slur is short and you lift the bow off. Let's just try it once more with equal quavers. 3 and 4. Excellent, well done. Notice the first line of bar 2 has that 3-note slur. This first line of bar 3, which is a repeat of the notes, has it without any slur and without any tie. So don't get too comfortable. Totally irregular. I don't have a clear answer to all the irregularity. I've got a few ideas. I won't bore you with them. Right, let's try as printed. We can add these ornaments at the end of each line. They're just like snaps. Yum ta ti ti dun ti ti. Here we go. Line 2, as printed, still nice and steady. 1, 2, 3, and 4. One thing to bear in mind when you get to line 3 is that a listener would be expecting just to repeat. You've got a bit of foresight seeing the music. So you need to make the first bar of line 3 particularly assertive. Compare line 1. Now the rhythm's different at the start of each bar as well. In line 2, yum pa dee dee da da dum. In line 3, tum ta ti ti tum tum tum. There's a bit of rhetoric. Right. Again, line 2 with the rhythm, with the few ornaments that are there. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you can use the dotted rhythm as a chance to travel up the bow. And when you get the snaps, you can use them as a chance to travel back down. For instance, in line 2, bars 2 and 3, you get some balance there. And especially in line 3, bar 2, yum, padum, ta-ta-dum, ta-dum. It's symmetrical, inversely symmetrical. Right, let's just try it once more. Line 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you have the Strathspey. It's delightful. The deal, also with a Gow connection, if not attributed to Miss Campbell of Monzie. Yum pum tee tee tum. Now this is a tricky little reel. It plays with your expectations. Let's give it a little play. Let's play it all the way through, nice and steady, from start to beginning, from start to end, from start to beginning. Right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And Donald, I hope you enjoy that D7 over F sharp. That's not me, that's Glen, but it's a nice little twist. Now, a couple of things that I think are meant to be humorous. In line 1, bar 2, we set up this sequence. Low, high, low, high. If you're playing by ear, you're going to go to the low D, but note 5 of bar 2 is the high D, and then the low D comes next. It's that sort of knowing wink caught you, because what you think, that's where the sequence suggests you're going. So that high D is cheeky. So you need to just give it a bit of shape. Let's just try that bar and just really play that high D, the fifth note. Ready, 2, 3, and 4. And again. Good. I'm connecting a sort of broad stroke between the fourth and fifth notes. You hear that? Yeah. One more time. Bar 2, 3, 4. Now, it is a very common figuration, but nonetheless, it's so much of this, this harmonic tonality that underpins, all this music is a play of expectations. The whole idea of a tonic note is built upon expectation, the expectation that you arrive back at the tonic, and connections between all the notes derived from this. Yada da da dum pum pa, haha, got you, didn't go where you think I was going. It happens again more overtly in the second measure. So in line 2, you've got this little figure in bar 1. What have we said so often? Bar 3 as bar 1. It tends to be the same figure, but here it's not. It's different. Now it's fine when you're playing it steadily off the page. You just play what note you want to play. But I found when I was speeding it up, I was repeating the first bar because that's where I felt it was going better than somewhere else. So let's just try from line 2. Ready, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. It just goes somewhere slightly different. It's common for the first and third bar to be broadly the same. Here it is. And the fact that there's that little cheeky second bar in the first measure, I just wondered if the composer, whoever they were, was just having a bit of fun. But it's a lovely fun reel. Let's give it another go at a steady tempo. Just the whole thing. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And again. There you go. Well read. Just one other thing about the phrasing. These last 2 bars. In the last line, from the upbeat to bar 3, you feel the upbeat. Ya da 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 da. So it's a 4-note grouping, but it's from the last note of the previous bar. Da 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 do da 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 do da da. Let's just try that. So line 3, upbeat to bar 3, the F quaver. Here we go, 3 and 4. So you just need to make sure these pickups the first note of each little group that we're defining has a lot of left. Once more, upbeat to line 3, bar 3, the quaver. 3 and 4. And that's what it's all about. Okay, let's give set 101 a run. This is the Strathspey Hilton Lodge by Gow, and the reel is Campbell of Monzie. Steady tempo. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Very good. It's delightful. It really is great stuff. A bit quicker. We'll lose a bit of the detail, but we'll get the lift of the dance. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There you go. I tell you what, just before we end, I don't think we did justice to the Strathspey. Let's try it one final time, just a bit quicker. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Last time, steady, fast, and faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you for humoring me. That's about it for this video. Thank you for taking part. We'll meet again on Monday when we'll continue our exploration of the Glen Collection. In the meantime, take care and keep playing.